In this video, we are going to discuss about the interfaces. What are the interfaces and how to use them? So basically, interfaces are like a advanced term you use to declare a simple blueprint of a class. What that's supposed to mean? It's define the set of functions into the main parent class, or you can call interface, and then whoever use that interface has to go through all those functions and implement them, otherwise it will gonna throw an error. Why we use interface? There are multiple reasons to use the interfaces, like some use it to provide the proper structure into their functionality in the flow, some uses as a contract, and some uses them for multiple inheritance, just like PHP. In PHP, multiple inheritance is not possible using classes. So for that, we can use interfaces. So these are the some common reasons why we use interfaces. Now let's have a look how we can implement or use them. I'm gonna just keep using the same example from our previous video. So animal, right now it is class. Let's change it to interface. And keep in mind, it can be capital or small, both. So now as you can see, for classes we use the word extend. This is the keyword to extend a class, but to use the interface you need to use the word implements. Now this class is using the interface above, which is animal. And as I told you that PHP doesn't support multiple inheritance using a classes, so we can use interfaces as a multiple inheritance. Like we can define multiple as well. I'm gonna show you. There are some differences between a normal class and the interfaces. And in the previous video, when we were discussing about the abstraction, I told you about the abstract class, which is a special class with some certain limitation and features. So we usually do the difference between interfaces and abstract class, and here are the differences. First of all, abstract class, you can add the properties, which is variables, and the methods, which is functions as well, into abstract class. But in interface, you can only define the method, the functions. Second thing, abstract class, you can implement the function. Non-abstract functions, you can add the code inside the function like that. You can define the set of a rule, and you can also just leave it like that as a definition of a function. Like you are defining this function it, but you are not implementing it onto the abstract class. Same thing goes with the interfaces. Interfaces only take the signature, the definition of the method. You cannot do the implementation like that. It will gonna give you the error. You cannot do the implementation. This is also a difference. Third difference is that in interfaces, you cannot select any other access modifier than public. But in abstract class, you can use public and protected as well. You cannot use private for both of them. So these are the differences. Now jump into the functionality of interfaces. We have implemented animal here. It will gonna work same. I will just gonna copy this and paste it here, save it. In abstract classes, you have seen that we can define multiple or different arguments here, but in the interfaces, you have to go exactly how it is defined into the interface. So here we have no argument. So we cannot pass any argument here. We have to remove this and write something inside it. Same for this. Save it, come back, refresh. Now you can see it is showing here. But now, for instance, if you wanted to add some attributes here, now you have to define them exactly how many attributes you are defining here. Now we can say save it. All right, so as you can see, we are not displaying the attributes, but we are displaying the static text here. So as you can see, this is the reason of using interfaces. You can define, now if I remove this from here, save it, it will gonna give us an error. You see, cat contain one abstract method and must therefore be declared. Now it is mandatory for class whoever uses this interface to use this eat. If we set another function here, walk, we're gonna get the error for both the classes. You see, now it is saying dog because dog class is defining first, so it is throwing the error. Dog need to have this walk function as well. So the reason, as I told you before, to provide a proper structure to your coding, to let the developer know that how many and what are the functions that you have to define when you are using interfaces. It is like a blueprint structure foundation, you can say, and whoever implement the interfaces has to declare and implement those functions as well. So now I will gonna tell you about the multiple implementation of an interface like I told you before. So we're gonna copy this, paste it here, and we're gonna name it behavior. And in order to use multiple interfaces attached with a class, you just have to add a comma and the name of the interface, just like that, simple as that. And for behavior, let's use the walk function, remove all the attributes and just use lags. And here you'll have to define this function. We can copy this, paste it here, walk, lags, number of lags. Now if we come here and call this function and set the lags to 4, save it, come back, refresh, indeed we have number of lags here, 4. So this is multiple interfaces implementation. So take care for now, bye bye.